What is up, fellow vagabonds, pirates, and earthlings? It's me again, Xgen, back with another episode of Vagabond's Guide to the Universe. Today, this is actually a guide. I'm going to teach you a couple of things that have helped me in my life, enabled me to travel the planet, to survive, to have fun, and to take joy in all this beauteous nature. Look at this. Not too bad, is it? So let's get into it. Today we're dealing with field recording and how to shoot a video camera. I'm going to be using a GoPro, so that's what we'll be talking about, but you can basically apply these knowledge sets to any type of camera or audio recorder. Alright, you guys, let's get into it. Roll it.
Ooh, that sugar sweet, you got what I need. Sipping on the potion, all that good emotion, just my kind of heat. Keep it on repeat, tested by the motion, loving this devotion. Live it up, sweet emotion. Every time, every night, you and I on a roll. Switch it up where I'm going. Stay on the fly, just in time, know the right way to go. I'm on the road, it's my time, taking control of my life.
Okay, you guys, so today I'm using a Zoom H4n for my field recording. This thing is super cool, man. I love it. My friend Gareth left this for me. It's pretty beat up. I mean, mine is thrashed, and you can hear a little bit of the wind there. I wish I had a dead cat on this thing. A dead cat's a little fluffy ball you put on the microphones here, and it keeps that wind sound from coming in. But this is going to work well for our purposes. I basically forgot to stop recording, so I'm not recording on it right now, but I can hear my voice in my headphones. I have it set on the mic in, which are these two guys right here. This thing is awesome because it also has two XLRs in where I can plug in other mics. I'm going to upgrade to another mic soon, which will be dope. And then you can set it right here to these external mics, but that'll come later. So right now, basically, what I want to show you is how I record this thing, especially for field recording, is I look at the record level over here, and you can set it here. You have your headphones on, and you can basically hear the sound input that you want to record. When you're ready to record, you hit record here. It's primed it up, so I have my audio level set, which I set over here on record level. And what we're going to record is actually some water sounds, which I think are beautiful. So let's get into it. Let's find some water and record it. Well, lucky us, you guys. We're barely down the trail and already found an amazing spot for field recording. This has been one of the funnest things for me to do lately. I really enjoy it. I hope you find some pleasure in this too. Check it out. So I'm currently on Kauai, and there is just running water everywhere. It makes me so happy. What I'm going to do now is take my Zoom here, my Zoom H4n, and kind of tune it to the sound of this water. I'm putting it closer and I can hear it in my headphones. Wow, that sounds so nice. It sounds a little bit loud. I don't want to get too much background noise. I just want to hear the sound of this water. Let's check it over here. That sounds pretty nice too. Oh man, I can't wait for you to hear this. I'm actually going to start recording right now, so you can hear what I'm hearing. I'm just going to mix it into the audio here. Wow, that is so cool. Beautiful sound. I could really just listen to that all day. So now that I've got it tuned, I got a little clip there that's still recording, I'm going to attach my Zoom to my GoPro rig and then kind of keep recording. Hey, what's up, vagabonds? Decided to pop by another waterfall for a quick lesson on shooting your video cameras. I hope those field recordings were okay. I'm definitely not a pro. I'm gonna list a bunch of other people on YouTube who are actually really professional and good and can explain how to really use your recorders. This is just a guide. But please check them out, follow them. There's a million settings you can adjust, add-ons, different mics, great things you can do to achieve a really good field recording. They're pretty epic, man. If you're still following, please hit subscribe. I'd be stoked. You have no idea how much that would mean to me, actually. It would totally make my day. If you're enjoying this, subscribe for more. It's gonna be epic. Anyway, I wanna start now talking about cameras and how to shoot your little video camera. I'm gonna adjust and get a different spot and talk to you about your camera angle, your frames per second, and a bunch of different settings you can use to get great video. Here we go, you guys. Historically, cameras were physical machines. They would open and close a mechanical piece of metal or a piece of cloth, whatever, something that would mechanically open up really quickly and capture light on celluloid film. Nowadays, we have digital sensors, like the camera that I'm shooting on right now, and it's basically digitally just closing and opening a digital sensor to capture images and to create the illusion of movement that we see in footage. There's another aspect to shooting good film, and it's actually the shutter speed. The shutter speed is how fast that little thing is opening and closing. And that actually affects it, you know? Like, let's say you have a really fast shutter speed. Let's say I'm shooting at like 1,000th of a second, 1/1000th of a second. That's what I use when I'm taking photos of sports because it freezes everything. The camera's going so quickly that it actually almost freezes time. But for us as humans, we can't see that quick. Sometimes we do when we're in like agitated states or super anxious or have our adrenaline pumping, but otherwise life isn't quite like that. And the way to capture the aspect of our human vision is by doubling the shutter speed. Sorry. The way to capture that is by doubling the frames per second in our shutter speed. So essentially I'm shooting this video at 4K, which is my resolution. My frames per second is 30, which means the camera is capturing 30 frames per second, and then my shutter speed is 1/60th of a second. Don't worry, I'm gonna write this all at the bottom in just a second, so you can remember. And essentially what that does, they call it 180 degree shutter angle is how they would technically describe that. I'm not sure what that means. I think what it means is that back in the day, there was a spinning disc with a hole on it, and the disc would spin open and close at variable speeds to capture smooth movement for video cameras and for motion picture cameras. But nowadays, we set this all digitally. On a GoPro, it's sometimes hard to achieve that shutter speed. I'm in the shade right now. I'm underneath a huge cliff. I wish you could see this. It's so cool. But anyway, what I use when I'm in light are these things called variable ND filters to capture smooth movement and to get the right shutter speed for my frames per second. So let's say for my 30 frames per second, I want to be shooting at 1/60th of a shutter, 1/60th of a second for my shutter speed. And if I was out in the bright daylight, which I can see outside of this cave, I wouldn't be able to do that. It basically would be too bright. If the camera was capturing light at 1/60th of a second, too much light would be getting in, and it would be too bright. All this little filter is basically a dark piece of glass that makes it darker. And you can get these on Amazon. This one's really cheap. This kit came with 3 NDs and this other thing called a circular polarizer, which I can talk about later, or you can ask me about, whatever. But I would order that kit. It's less than 40 bucks, and it can enable your GoPro to shoot really crispy, sick footage. So basically I'm done talking about frames per second, shutter speed, things like that. We can get into more technical aspects of cameras on another video, but today all I wanted to talk about is frames per second and how to get the nicest, smoothest movement out of your cameras that looks great, looks cinematic, and it looks smooth like natural human movement. This video that I'm talking on right now is shot at 30, but let's get into some other clips. We're gonna boost it up and show you how to do slow-mo. We're gonna shoot 60 frames per second, 120 frames per second, and even ultra effing slow 240 frames per second, my favorite.
let's get into it, you guys.
「